We are barely 4 months into 2025, and we are already getting phrases like Best Movie of the Year thrown around. I am of course referring to the new Ryan Coogler horror film, Sinners, which initially landed on Rotten Tomatoes with a perfect 100% score, and has since sparked early discussion about the film's Oscar prospects. So despite no prior plans to watch this one in theaters, I knew I had to see for myself what the hype was about. But is the film as good as that score might suggest? Or is this another case of overinflated praise? Hi guys, Michael Abayomi here, and today I'm reviewing Sinners. The film stars Michael B. Jordan in the dual role of twin gangsters, Smoke and Stack. The year is 1932, and the two brothers have just returned to their hometown in Mississippi, where they intend to open a juke joint with some of their accumulated wealth and loot. But on the opening night of their new establishments, their lives and those of their patrons become threatened when the place attracts the attention of a trio of vampires. Now they must fight to survive until sunrise, or risk getting turned into vampires themselves. If the above synopsis sounds familiar, it is probably because you've seen the 1996 film, From Dusk Till Dawn. At least that was the movie that came to mind as I watched the events in Sinners unfold. After all, both films feature a pair of criminals struggling to fight off a group of vampires in a bar of sorts. But for a movie that appears to ape a large portion of its premise, I was still impressed by what this one was able to accomplish within the confines of that framework. The first thing that stood out to me about Sinners was just how great the cinematography looks. The movie is beautifully shot, showcasing the striking scenery that makes up most of its Jim Crow era American South, with its sweeping vistas of cotton fields and old dusty roads. Equally deserving of praise is the production and costume design on display, both of which were uniformly excellent and served to immerse you in its surrealist vision. Music also plays a huge role in the film, with a soaring soundtrack and score by Ludwig Göransson that used everything from banjos to electric guitars. And the way the music blended with the visuals further helped sell that surreal, otherworldly quality the filmmaker was clearly going for. Each song in the movie was a standout performance that wouldn't have been out of place in a full-blown musical, so you definitely want to see it on the biggest screen possible and hear the songs booming in full surround sound speakers. On the acting front, the decision to have Michael B. Jordan in dual roles thankfully never got in the way of either performance. I never had trouble telling which twin brother was which, as each one was distinct enough in look and mannerisms that I quickly forgot they weren't in fact two distinct actors playing the parts. But I do have to say that I had issues with the dialogue. I initially had trouble picking up some words or phrases, owing to the thick southern accents the actors adopted for their roles. The biggest offender by far was Delroy Lindo, who was incidentally my favorite character as he supplied most of the comic relief in the movie, which only further exacerbated my frustrations with the lack of subtitles. But the strength of his performance and those of the other actors still managed to shine through. The true star of the show though was Ryan Coogler. Ever since his work on Fruitvale Station, he has continued to showcase his growing talents as a director. And while I still think he didn't exactly put his best foot forward in Black Panther Wakanda Forever, he's certainly firing on all cylinders here, making this a pretty solid return to form. I wouldn't go as far as call this his magnum opus, like some might, but it is certainly up there with the first Black Panther movie. One area of Sinners that I think some viewers might take issue with is its pacing. It takes a while before the proverbial shit hits the proverbial fan, with the first half of the movie's 2 hours and 17 minutes runtime being spent introducing the characters and setting the stage for that bloodletting. Some of the CGI used for the blood and gore effects also seem too cartoonish, marring what is an otherwise well put together package. I also found the ending a tad too over the top for my liking, veering into full-on torture porn territory for the sake of garnering some cheap cheers. But if you are someone who enjoys a good revenge story, then perhaps there's plenty of satisfaction to be had there. Either way, you definitely want to stick around for the credits, because there's a hefty mid-credit scene that effectively serves as the film's epilogue, so don't say you weren't warned. Sinners delivers on its promise of a bloody good time, but even more than that, it manages to transcend the trappings of the horror genre by offering a unique take within its familiar sandbox. Most of that is driven by Ryan Coogler's singular vision, which shines through with a kind of clarity seldom seen in Hollywood today. So even though it might not be his best work, it is still a must-see for any horror fans looking to satisfy their bloodlust. I'll give the film a 9 out of 10. Will you be checking out Sinners anytime soon? Let me know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed watching this review, and to subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on if you'd like to see more reviews like this in the future. And until the next one, this is Michael, signing off.